Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Excalibur Data Systems Roundtable Tech Talk. This is part of our extended series of Tech Talks, and I'm joined today by Will Barrowes from CG4. Will, thanks for joining me.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here, Mike. Thank you.
So, for those that aren't aware, CG4 is an asset tracking technology, and Excalibur is a partner of CG4, and we've worked together on many projects. And Will and I were kind of racking our brains saying, hey, what are the common things that we run into, common questions, kind of those FAQs? And as we started kind of making the list, we said, let's start at the beginning. As we've all gone through the pandemic and we've seen what a lot of customers have found as gaps or challenges within their environments, one of the questions we get is really, what is asset tracking? What does it mean to track assets? And so we kind of put a definition together, which is, you're leveraging some sort of technology. CG4 will be a good example of a technology that's going to allow you to track your assets. And people say, well, why would we track assets? Well, if you're on the IT side, you're thinking about your CMDB, but on a broader sense, one of the things that we've seen for many customers is that their accounting departments are going to depreciate some of these assets. Assets can be IT equipment, but assets could be televisions, it could be game consoles, it could be chiller units, it could be almost anything that you want to be able to affix a tag to and keep track of. That is really what asset tracking is. Well, what are some of the interesting type of assets that you've seen customers track in the past?
We've seen a little bit of everything, and we've seen quite a few interesting things. One of the things that kind of sticks out in my mind is that you were talking about what kind of interesting things that we'd seen, but one of our customers was a staging company for homes and for office spaces and hotels, and they had a bunch of purple couches available for someone to have out at their location. And so they would look through and see which one they wanted, and they needed to get the right purple couch, because if you take the wrong purple couch out there, that's not going to be what they asked for. And so that's one that sticks out in my mind. Of course, IT assets are really common all the time, because they become obsolete so quickly that you have to know where it is, and so you can take care of it in a timely fashion.
Well, I mean, but the example you used, furniture for a housing staging company. These are all assets. These all things all have value, and they need to know where they are. Right? That's what asset tracking is about. Is we have the ability to know, okay, where is it at this moment, or at least the last time somebody knew where it was, and we're able to move those things from location to location if things are moving. And in that example, stuff's moving around all the time, right? So where is the special purple couch number 2? It's in a home right now, and we know it's going to be there until the end of March. Okay, well that asset's not available. Do we have another one that's similar? Which assets are in the warehouse, right? Well, can you tell me what purple couches are in the warehouse? Or we need to do an inventory, or what have you. It's about being able to track, the location and disposition of these assets. That's what asset tracking is about. And while it might be used for accounting for from a depreciation perspective, it can be, as in that example, really just knowing where everything is, because we have all of these different things. And I'm thinking in that example, when you start thinking about larger items like staged furniture, there's probably multiple warehouses involved. So is it in warehouse A or warehouse B? Where is it? And that helps cut down the time that's required to understand where it is. Helps cut down the time for our folks from accounting to know what assets are in use, what assets have been fully depreciated, what assets have been retired. Is the ability to track those. That's really what the core of asset tracking is about, at a very, very high level. So one of those common questions that we get asked. Will, that was a really great example of something that is kind of out there, but is something that I think a lot of people get stuck in the mode of tracking IT assets. But it can be about so much more.
Right.
Thanks for sharing that with us. We'd love to share more about CG4 and asset tracking with you out there that are watching this. So feel free to reach out to the team at Excalibur, and we can engage Will and the team at CG4 and talk to you about how asset tracking can make a difference for your organization. Will, again, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, Mike. It was my pleasure.
All right. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you again soon.